I wouldn't have thought that this album is more pop. I think it's just a more mature album. I would think it's probably sometimes more rocky even than the others.
Creativity-wise, I'd say I think we'd all agree that it's our best, and we're very, very proud of this. And I think that there's something in it for everyone.
Going crazy in the middle of the night. The way the album began was basically, John, our manager, went into the studio and started trying to get stuff that we'd previously worked on tidied up and getting that together. And then myself and Colin wrote a song one night, so we said, oh, well, we'll go in and record that. So then it just we ended up producing it along with our guitarist and the guys in the studio, our engineer and our programmer, and all of us together, and our manager. So it just kind of came about chaotically, and then we kind of found we were onto something. I mean, there was great magic in the studio because it was Ireland as well as that, because there was a great vibe between all of us. There was no extra pressure.
We kind of just, Sharon writes on her own most of the time now, and she has written with Jim as well. I generally write with Andrea, and Andrea writes with Jim, so we kind of mix it around a bit. But I mean, some of us write in our houses, and we'll come into the studio the next day and just literally put the track down and see what happens with it.
Recording in Dublin was fantastic. We were dedicated, absolutely dedicated. We were able to party, have fun at the weekends, but I think, you have to do both, I think, in order to create a good album. Your inspiration has to come from being able to socialise as well. Otherwise, you've no sense of the outside world.
I think essentially we're homebirds at heart, and there's something great about going into the studio and when you're finished that night to be able to go home and sleep in your own bed, There's something wonderful about that. And there was less pressure in a sense. We love Ireland, so we're very lucky to be able to do it there this time.
You're irresistible.
Well, we had always been very, very big fans of Mutt Lange's productions, and we got the opportunity to meet with him in London for a party in the park last year when Shania Twain, his wife, was performing, and we just got talking about songwriting, and we got together and started to write, first of all in Switzerland and then back in Dublin, and we managed to write 3 tracks with him, which turned out, we think, very, very well, and one of which is going to be the first single, Breathless.
He brought 3 tracks to the recording with Andrea. He co-wrote with Andrea, and it's always amazing to work with a new producer because they are so different, and there are no rules for production, I think, at all. He is particularly particular about vocals, and he likes to have those completely perfect, so you do them again and again and again. But he's a lovely guy. He's a very I think he's a very spiritual guy, and he talks a lot, and he likes talking to people. He likes getting on with people. He likes getting to know people and understand what makes them tick. So as a guy, he's a really, really sweet guy, and he was great to work with. To go out and to write a song with him was kind of daunting. I mean, you're on a plane and you're going there and you're wondering, how's it going to happen? And, something I always feel, I always have this worry thing about writing because it's not something that I know how to do in a way, as in, there's no method in it. It's not a labour, it's not a plan. It's purely on inspiration. So every time I write a song, I'm thrilled it's happened again. But before I go to write a song, I'd be very scared that it's not going to happen. What am I going to do? Because I don't know. So I have all these thoughts on the plane anyway going to meet him, but he completely alleviated everything. He's a lovely, lovely guy and extremely talented and musical. And basically we just, when I got in, we just sat and he played the guitar and we wrote Breathless first. Go on, leave me breathless. Shooting the video Breathless was very interesting, yeah. We shot it in the Mojave Desert. It's outside Los Angeles. Actually, it's near the Joshua Tree, which I think is good. And it was stiflingly hot, of course. It's the desert, you know, and so it was a 2-day shoot and a very big shoot. The kind of theme was Mad Max, and Jim's flying a plane, and we're flying in a plane to do our gig and set up our gig, and then we've got like guys in Harley Davidsons like watching our gig. Our typical audience, of course.
That was great fun. It was an old DC-3. It was built in 1939, I think it was. A Dakota it was called. And it was an amazing plane. It's one of these that sits at an angle on the runway like that, and that was great fun. I had to pretend, obviously, at the controls. I had to pretend to be flying the plane, sticking my head out and checking that the propeller was turning properly. But we did actually get to go up in it, and we were up for about half an hour, just flying around the desert. Good fun.
And anyway, so it's going well.
Work with Mitchell Froome again on this album because it turned out so well on the MTV Unplugged album. He's got a very special touch, a very musical touch that we thought helped to influence.
It was actually one of our programmer came up with most of the ideas on the dance version of it, which eventually, and then using the guitar as well in a different way, it eventually went on the record. But we were very, very unsure about what way that song was going to go for a very long time. I mean, it was continually moving in different directions.
The new songs from the new album that people didn't know, it's not their fault that he walked off to the sound of his own feet. So that's not good. But they went down so well, the new songs, they just loved them. And we hadn't even had time to run through the set completely fully before the gig and everything, and also we were scared, can you still do it? Because you just don't, it's been quite a while. And then we knew, that's why we did this last year. That's why. This is good. I'm praying for you. The first time I heard it was Jim just had been working in a small studio on his own, just coming up with some ideas, some tracks, and he sent me a tape of a number of tracks, and just to see what I thought of them, and we were working in another studio on some of the stuff that we'd come up with separately, and that one really stuck out to me amongst all of the ones that he sent to me. I just thought there was a great vibe to the track. I just love the way it moves. I think it's one of those ones where it's a little bit melancholic in the verse, but in the chorus it's uplifting. And I love that kind of, I suppose, duplicity in a song. I love the way that there's two conflicting feelings in a song. I think it makes it much more interesting.
We chose to dedicate this album to our mother, Jean, who unfortunately passed away about 5 months ago. She died of an incurable lung disease, and she herself and Daddy were very, very much a part of what we have become and who we are, both musically and personality-wise. She was our greatest fan.
Yeah, it's a very special album because of what we've gone through while making it.
When we started out, I thank God we were naive, because I think in ways, had we known just the sheer amount of work that we were letting ourselves in for, I think we would have been so daunted we probably would have walked away from it. But I mean, we had tremendous amount of enthusiasm and ambition, so that really worked in our favour. In the beginning it was crazy, because when you first get a record deal, a lot of bands before they get a record deal think the record deal is the ultimate thing, but it really is the beginning. It is the first stepping stone, and it's the smallest stepping stone to get over, because from there on in you literally have to sell your music door to door, country to country, and that's the way it works. I mean, we basically travelled the globe and just worked.
This is a special day for all of us.
Wow. See, they're bullying after 10 years.
We're thrilled to have you as part of our family, and we'd like to help you celebrate your 10 years together by presenting you with this beautiful plaque in recognition of 10 million sales in Europe.
Wow.
That's
That is brilliant.
10 years, 10 million. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
It's been absolutely fantastic. I don't know how to describe it otherwise. We had a dream. Our manager had a dream, and I think we've exceeded our own expectations of where it would take us. We've had many fantastic moments. Moments where we were thrown in at the deep end, where we threw ourselves in at the deep end and had to deliver.
The only time you start to learn about music, the music industry, is once you get a record deal, and then that's very fast. Things start to move. But I think for us, we always hoped and dreamed in a very strange way of we always set our sights high. We never thought, we'll just stay here, or we won't do that. We did everything that we thought would get us somewhere.
It was definitely a dream, a quite ridiculous dream that we had, and our manager had for us, that someday that we'd play Lansdowne Road, and we'd set it out just ourselves. So it was a great moment in our career that we played Lansdowne Road.
It was absolutely terrifying, I got to say. We had shot an opening sequence, first of all, that was going to be played on video, and pumping out through the speakers just as we're coming onto the stage, and the curtains would be down. And so what happens was we came out from the dressing rooms and walked to a certain point, and the crowd couldn't see it at that point. And then we've never played to an audience of that amount on our own, headlining on our own at that stage. And the video finished.
Gig, it really was.
Fame, I don't think that you ever adjust to that. You know, maybe in the future we'll look back and go, my God, you know, that was big and we were very famous and all. But that is a very separate being than we are, you know, this famous picture. You know, and I think it has to stay that way so that you can maintain your sanity, because it's you know, I don't think you're supposed to be looked at this much. I don't think you're supposed to be, you know, I don't think you're supposed to see yourself this much. I think this kind of stuff can distort your mind. No person is supposed to see themselves as much as this, you know, and hear their own voice and stuff like that. So I think you've got to separate yourself.
We're very much aware of what a business it is. We're very much aware also how lucky we are to be doing what we're doing, to be expressing of ourselves musically, to be working at something that we're talented at.
A lot of things have changed, and it really is a tremendous relief and a tremendous sense of fulfillment to have achieved as much as we have, because I think if we were at this stage and we hadn't moved on that much, it would be quite depressing for it to be our 10th anniversary, but it's been so successful, it really is very satisfying.
We'll take it as it comes, and we hope that it will be successful in the States. I mean, there's no guarantees. There are no guarantees in this business, and we certainly know that. So we hope that it is, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I think it's the only way to deal with it, really.
Oh, we have definitely fulfilled so many of our ambitions. I mean, I think, you know, as a band, fundamentally, it's not about fame, though, but fame is incidental, and fame is one of the things that happens. But to have written these songs, something that we've done over all these years, that we started 10 years ago, you know, and to have the world hear them, and to get better at writing songs and to feel it better, and the music and playing, and that it is so, becomes so natural, you get so used to it, and you know, that is a great feeling. That is we truly have fulfilled that ambition, regardless of what happens.
We'll